What am I supposed to say? Hey y'all, this is BG Codes and I'm bradgarropy. Welcome to the stream. Total brain fart right there. We have been doing a really good job staying on top of like building authentication for this app. It's pretty much done. We've got sign in, sign up, log out, all done. Saving to the database, having a session cookie, all that stuff. But there's no tests. So we're going to change that tonight. We're going to write a bunch of unit tests for our low-level utilities. And maybe if we get to it, we're going to write some end-to-end tests to test our authentication flow. This PR got really big. It started small where I was just going to make the sign-up route. But then, like, when you make authentication, it touches every part of your app. It touches the front end, it touches the back end, touches the database, and so you kind of have to go the whole way. And so I was like, fuck it, I just built the whole thing. That's fine, but it's going to be a big meaty PR, and that's fine. It's just like it's my starter app. It doesn't really matter. But I just need to make sure it's all buttoned up before I send it. So let's review what we've got. What's up? We got Ryan in the chat. Caught him before going to bed in that East Coast time. All right. Coding. There we go. Let's go. Let's open up Chrome. There. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Look at all these routes. This front end loader in action, these are errors that are thrown so that I could test out the Sentry integration. So what do we have? We've got, yeah. I'm just going to keep you up a little bit later. We've got 4 users, Brad, Gabby, and Charlie. I am signed in as Charlie. I can refresh the page. We know it's Charlie. I can click around, but if I log out or sign out, it's done. Now, if I try to click on this dashboard page, we can't go there. We are redirected to sign in. And so now if I sign in as, you know, myself, I can't remember what fake password I used. I'm now me. So what do we got here? We have to write a lot of tests. We need to test auth. We need to test Prisma. We need to test session. And user. And there was a bunch of things that I did want to mess with. Because I was looking at auth the last time, and I was looking here and saying, okay, auth is tied at the hip to session. So on my sign up, where's all my routes here? Navigation. Where's my sign in route? Right there. Right here, we call sign in and then we call create session. And there's this tight intermingling of what the auth layer does and what the session layer does, and then how you redirect. And so for sign in, you grab the user, you compare the passwords, and then in this case we return the user. And after that you have to create the session. So let's go to session.server, and the session, where is it? Redirects. So you make the cookie, you redirect. And in my head, I'm trying to figure out where you draw that line to Do I want my API to just call, sign in with a username and a password, and then it's done, and the rest is handled under the hood? Or do I want everything to be separate? You call sign in, and you get a user back, and then you call create session, and then maybe create session finishes. It gives you a cookie, and then you redirect. I don't know. Opinions. What would you do? I was using the indie stack from Remix as like a good reference, and they definitely do everything. Where's their auth helper? I thought they had an auth helper or something. Utils? No, not quite. Maybe it's in session. Where's like login? Login. So what do? They do all the verification. Verify login gets a user. And then they have create user session, which does the redirect. So there's a separate. What about log out? No. And join, theirs is separate. You make the user, and then you make the session. I just didn't like, I think, where's create user coming from? User.server. That's what I'm looking for. App models user. Verify login. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of separate because it's also much easier to unit test. So if I want to swap out the session layer for some reason and move it into the database or something, I've got that. The kicker was that, see, this is my problem. I overthink everything. The kicker is that the sign out method, it does nothing. Because the sign out method, all it does is delete the session. So it's going to look like this, You get the user and then you delete the session. And I just thought it would be nice to have an auth layer that's like sign in, sign out, sign up. All the three things. It would be like a perfect API. But then, yeah, you've got all the session stuff underneath it. Okay, so let's keep it separate. And now what I don't like is I wanted to log some messages of when like users were logging in and logging out. And that's all I'm saying. It kind of sucks because if I want to make this sign out method, this is all it does. Is it log something? Because this loader doesn't even need to call sign out. There's no action. It's just delete session. And to be honest, as soon as this gets implemented, auth code is not something you touch. So I'm just trying to reconcile. Well, I've got log messages located in the auth layer for sign in and sign up, but not sign out. That seems dumb. Also, get user from session. I really feel like should return the whole user object and not just the ID. I guess the question is there ever going to be a time where we want to sign in and not create a session and redirect? You know what I mean? Also, this song has some really weird background noise. Weird. Real quick, I'm getting hot in this. I'm going to take this off and be right back. Yeah, okay, back. Yeah, there's no case in which these are decoupled. So why not nest them? We still have the ability to operate at the, redirect layer and the session layer, but there's no reason not to do it this way. And you know what? If there is, I'll change it. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start with sign in. And this will be great because who the fuck wants to look at this create session? Like the sign in action should just sign in. I don't need to care about create session. So that's what's going to happen. Sign in is going to call create session. And we'll just return, if I could spell, sign in. So sign in calls create session. Fuck. Because now sign in needs the request. That's why it's not a good API. Because now sign in needs the request. Like to me, the sign in operation should be email and password. Why'd these lights just turn off? Is my wife trolling me? Okay, so now you've got request, email and password. Now you can call this. User signed in. Boom. That should take care of that. Okay, now sign up. Sign up, we're going to include create session as well. And again, now we need this request. Okay. And that makes sense. It's much cleaner from the call site. Then sign out. We need to create sign out, which is in auth, which we have. And sign out's gonna basically call this. Yeah, and don't you think get user from session should return a real ass user? Where else is this called? That's where it's defined. In sign out. That's it. Yeah, then I want this. So I want the log messages of who signed out. So get user from session will return user ID, and then we'll say const user is equal await get user by ID. Yeah. No, I should be concentrating here. So this is get user from session. Which now this is going to take a request and an ID. Thank you, Copilot. Still not paying for Copilot, by the way. Oh, that's why. This needs to be async. And then now we have the user. And now this is what I wanted. The whole reason. I want a log of this. So. Yeah, still in the free tier. I am cheap as fuck, bro. The only service I pay for is domain names. I don't pay for Raycast Pro. I don't pay for anything. Yeah, actually, it's getting me pretty far. The day I hit the limit, though, I'm gonna pay for it. It's worth it. I told myself I'm leaning into AI this year. What do you do if there's no user? What do they do in their logout route? Logout request, app session. Yeah, I try not to spend too much. I'm a cheap developer. You know what I mean? Here I am building my own auth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to throw an error. How would they? They could, because sign out is a route with a loader, technically anybody could just go to /sign out. And so we need to handle that case. And technically, yeah, sign out just needs the request. It doesn't need anything else. Yeah, you need to think about this as like, these are still API endpoints. So people can not use the UI to get there. They could just issue a GET request or a POST request. And so you need to handle this case. And TypeScript calls this out for you at the end of the day. So then what does delete session do? It redirects, right? Yeah. Yeah, so here, I just want to return a redirect. And I suppose you could just call delete session as well. And destroy it. Just to be safe, right? If there was some sort of leftover cookie in there that was like broken. So technically we're doing the same thing. The only difference is I get a log message if there's a user that actually logged out. Yeah, and so here we are. So there, now this is all nested. And I like this. Wait, what's... Oh. No, is delete session going to error out? No, because all delete session does is wipe out the session cookie. So it calls session storage, it destroys it, which there's a resulting cookie, which is empty, and then redirects. So user, no user, doesn't matter. I am going to double check that that cookie's gone and then send you home. And we can fuck with all this. We can test it. All right, so let's make sure all this works out. I'm logged in, right? Yeah, I'm me. So let's see, here's the session cookie. Watch. If I just go to sign out, session cookie goes away and redirects me home. What happens if I go to sign out again? Uh-oh. Whoops. Prisma find unique. Shit. Sign out. What's the problem? My routes tell me sign out goes to sign out.tsx. Sign out calls sign out. Oh. And get user from session can be null. Yes, but we handle that. Ryan's asking about the tilde import. Yeah, that is, where is that? In my Vite config? No, Vite pulls from tsconfig paths. So in my tsconfig, I have all my paths mapped to tilde. That's why. And I like that because to me, it means home. You know, just like on your machine, tilde means home. And so your home is your source directory. That's where all your code lives under. That's where you're going to be importing from. Routes sign out through an error. Why? Get user from session? Oh. You know, first of all, I think when I create my session, I'm missing the type. Not here. Where is it? Session is a generic. Oh, come on. I know this. Like, yeah. Session date. Okay, in create cookie session storage. That's it. It's a generic. I'm not going to worry about flash data. I guess I'll call this user session. Yeah. And so now cool. It can autocomplete and then what type is that? Number or undefined. Perfect. Okay. So now, yeah. Get user from session. We need a check here. Right? If the session doesn't have a user ID in it, which is what we ran into, we're going to return null. And so now in sign out, get user from session is going to be null. There's no user, and we'll still delete session. Okay, so that should fix the issue. Yeah, so now I can hit sign out as much as I want. And I'm just going to, you know, keep getting redirected to home. Okay, sign in. Let's make sure this still works. That's cool. That's cool. Nothing's happening. Sweet. Sweet. Okay. What's going on? I'm getting this. Does that need to be awaited? Wouldn't think so. Yeah, see? Await has no effect. Am I calling create session? Oh, where's that? No. It's the wrong import, bro. That's why. Yeah, that's why. Let's sign out. We'll sign in again. Sign in as Charlie. Invalid password. What the hell was her password? Yeah. Okay. Need to turn off all these like errors. Okay, and then sign out, and then let's make sure sign up still works. Bro, it wasn't my fault. It was VS Code. I swear. Okay, cool. So sign in works and it creates a session and redirects you. This is great. I thought there were some other to-dos in my code base. Okay, let's just do this stuff. I'm gonna You can look at me talk while I edit environment variables. What environment variable are you adding? Oh, like the session secret. Oh, now I need like typed environment variables. I hate this. Didn't T3 have something like this? Whatever. This will be later. Is this gonna work? I know I just like hid that variable from you guys, but it's just like something dumb anyways, so yeah. Okay, so it's present. I don't have to like prefix it with Vite or anything. I always forget about like when you have to do that. In Vite, when do you have to prefix with Vite? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess Vite doesn't process the server files. That's cool. And I've got all this stuff marked as server anyways. That's important. I don't know. Vite just kind of mostly does what I need it to and then gets out of my way. Hey, thanks for hopping by, man. So now all these routes look exactly like I want them to. Hmm. So, okay, with that, I think we need to start committing some things. Okay, so here we're going to just be using the auth helpers. This stuff is pretty simple. Okay, and then the dashboard. I don't like how this works. So instead of get session and all this, we can say get user from session. Boink. Cool. That's like a whole lot cleaner. And I wonder if we should do like a require user. We'll do it later. Okay. So we're pretty good here. It's time to add a lot of tests. Sign up. Sign in, sign out, sign up. And I love this. We can just run our test watchers. Obviously, 100% test coverage. That's what I aim for. What's this? Oh, we got an update. Actually, let's start at the lower layers. Let's do this one. What do we expect here? We expect initializes database. We expect it to be an instance of Prisma client. Really? What is DB? It's a Prisma client. Shit, look at all of it. Huge. No, still doesn't like that. Still doesn't like that. Makes no sense. It's an object. What the hell? It it should be a Prisma client. Like what? One of these things is not like the other, man. Fine by me. Whoa. Like really had to restart there. Yeah, look at that. Okay. All right, so that's the Prisma test. And I don't want to call it Prisma. I want to call it... Okay, there's that. What's the next layer up? Yeah, I don't know. I might be running out of steam here. Again, great progress. We're starting to get testing there. We really made the APIs exactly the way we want them to. I'm going to be massaging this until it's perfect. 100% test coverage, both unit test and end-to-end, covering all of our scenarios. And then it'll be great. This is just the first step. After this, we're going to add a couple like CRUD pages, you know, where like a user can make like a note or something, you know, nothing big, and then store those things. While we're here, I need to mess with my audio configuration. Oh, that's why. Mine is 60. No way. You need to pull that. Mine is 30, bro. My gate was like way too much. Sweet. Okay. Yo, that's it for this one. Thanks for joining me while I keep working on this app. I think I've surpassed my goal for this week, which is great. I wanted like the sign up to be done, but I really finished all of auth with the exception of forgot password. That's something we need to do. And actually, maybe I'll make a note about that in auth.server. To do got password flow. But then we got to figure out email, and that's like a whole thing. But we're getting closer to merging this PR, getting in authentication and Prisma. And then I get to mess with Drizzle to see if I like Prisma or Drizzle better. So I'm making decisions as I go, taking it slow, but we're making forward progress. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this stream.